What's going on? What's going on? Today I want to talk about how we can decide if a woman is more of a side chick or a woman that we should not take serious, because women are going to give those red flags. And as a man, I noticed that us men, when a little head is thinking, we have a tendency to avoid and ignore the red flags that we obviously see just because of physical attraction. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that you should have a side chick, but I know it happens. It's a reality, especially as a man gets more successful, or you just an attractive male, some type of way that makes you more attractive and have that charisma that has you dealing with more women. So you want to make the right choice, because sometimes we make the wrong choice about certain women, and we take them more serious than they should be taken. So I'm just going to give some reasons on what we should notice in order to what category to, or just how to deal with this particular woman or women that we deal with. So number one, I'm going to say she has multiple partners. A woman having multiple partners shows that she doesn't take relationships seriously. She most likely takes them lightly. These the type of women that can come into your life, then they already have an exit plan. Like they say, they come into the relationship walking out. They come into the relationship looking for the exit door, looking for little small reasons to leave the relationship. And these things can be insignificant. They can be not important. But she will capitalize on those things as a reason to get out of the relationship. This also goes into sex as well. If a woman is having too much sex, she's most likely going to have a lot of emotional baggage, because women are vessels. They take things in, and a lot of things that they take in can't come out, has a hard time coming out, and it shows that she hasn't took the time out in between, the relationship, or in between the sexual partners, to get her mind right, get her emotions right, get her spiritual life right, before she just hops into another situation with another guy. She most likely has problem solving issues where she's not taking the right steps to problem solving. So what happens is she gets into a cycle of just constantly getting into relationships with people, and possibly just projecting her problems onto other people, instead of just taking the time out in between guys to get a good self-understanding and look more into the mirror about what's her particular problem. We lose interest in women who have multiple partners. It brings drama into our life. You may have conflict with with one of her ex-boyfriends that's unresolved. A lot of these women, they like bad guys, bad boys. So, you don't want to be in a situation, if you a so-called good guy, or just a real man, a decent man out here just working hard and trying to stay out of trouble. Get into a relationship with a woman that's been with multiple people. She most likely had some bad guys in her past. It's probably been in jail or whatever. That can bring you problems, and you can find yourself in a fight. So you want to avoid those type of situations. Also, it just looks good on your reputation when you have a woman that's not been with so many people, and so she's not so popular, and it doesn't mess your name up just by being seen with this woman. So number two, I'm gonna say she's unable and unwilling to make the necessary sacrifices in order to make the relationship better. What I mean by that is that she may have dysfunctional behavior patterns, bad problem solving habits that doesn't lead to good outcomes. Maybe she's taking advice from the wrong people, and she's taking on those particular problem solving habits. A lot of these women, they listen to other women that may give them the wrong advice. They listen to other single women that give them the advice that made those other women single, and they can bring those belief systems into your relationship. Stuff like all men cheat. You may be an upstanding brother, a loyal brother that's serious about the people you deal with. But if you're in a relationship with a woman that thinks all men cheat, then it's going to change the way she deals with you. It's going to bring a lot of trust issues into the relationship. So she has to be willing to get the necessary counseling and therapy in order to make the relationship better, and just learning overall patience and just paying attention to you as a person in order to understand that you may not be that type of guy. And she has to be willing to let go of those bad habits and control herself in order to not make the relationship be doomed. You know, she wanna take the steps to make the relationship more productive, more manageable, so that you guys can have long-term success. If she's not able to do that, then it's gonna make the relationship, it's gonna put you in a position where you can only deal with her on a small term or short term basis, because she can bring a lot of toxicity into your life. A lot of women have problems with being submissive. You know, we've seen the effects. You know, the Bible even says that woman is under man and all that, but these women still have problems with being submissive. They look at it as being a slave. So if she's not willing to have a clear definition of the word submissiveness and understand the man's role in a relationship, then she may just be unable to be in the relationship in general. Number 3, she doesn't represent well. So it's important for a man to be respected. It's also important for a man to be respected in public. You can't allow a woman to be disrespectful in public, to talk to you crazy in public, to not behave well, to ignore you, to talk over you, to even be going back and forth with you in public. It might be best for her to just be cool and just be quiet, you know, and talk amongst yourselves. But she can't be all too loud, because it makes a bad impression on yourself. Our reputation, our respect as a man goes further than women may understand. They take it lightly. You know, they can crack these little jokes and they want to show out in front of their friends and make it seem like they got you under control. And that's going to be terrible on your reputation. You can't let that stuff slide. You know, your reputation is important. When people see that a man is being disrespected by his woman in public, it makes people not take him serious. It makes him a joke. It makes people think they can disrespect him as well. When people see that a person can be disrespected, other people around can take on that same attitude towards that person, and you can find yourself in fights. You can find yourself constantly having to defend yourself, and it can just mess up your whole image as a person. I was looking at you've been noticing these football game fights. If you remember the Steelers game, when the woman was talking crazy to the guy in front of them, and then the man jumped up and tried to protect the woman, then the guy that the woman was talking to, you know, he punched the man, he pushed the woman out the way, and the man got into the fight because his woman was out of control. You know, has she just been chilling and sitting down and keeping her mouth closed and just enjoying the game, then her man wouldn't even have to get into a fight and then end up, you know, getting knocked out and embarrassing himself. So it's important that our women that we decide to deal with are in control, because it's very detrimental to our reputation. It can mess up our prospects in business. It can mess up, you know, our just overall relationships. So don't take that lightly. Number 4, and the last one, I'm gonna say we should be growing as men. We should be going to higher levels as far as our maturity, our emotions, the way we deal with problems, you know, our finances and things like that. But it's also important to have the right women around. They have to be maturing just as much as we have to be maturing. Sometimes people, they have this image of you that they refuse to let go of. I deal with this with certain family members. You know, I'm in my 30s, but you know, you have those certain family members who still see you as that 12-year-old kid, and you can have that same issue dealing with a woman. You may be this grown man and you're doing your thing and you're a leader amongst people, but this woman can still see you as that little simp in high school, you know, and she's still like trying these manipulative tactics on you, or when she see you growing, you know, she constantly tries to pull you back into the old version of you. You know, you might be elevating and it's making her intimidated because she feel like you are better than her. So she tries passive aggressive tactics in order to pull you back and kill your confidence, and overall it lands you back into an unsuccessful life or unsuccessful position, because you may be dealing with a woman that's her season is up, her time is up, and she's not willing to allow you to grow. If she's not allowing you to grow, that means she's not growing enough to accept your growth. She may be stuck in old habits. If you enter into another financial tax bracket, but you still have those, but she still have those negative spending habits that's draining your money, and she is not taking the necessary steps to understand finances, or understand how to invest money in order to help it grow over time and things like that. There may be someone that you just can't deal with, because money is a serious thing in relationships. A lot of relationships break up over money and things like that. So, those are my reasons why we shouldn't take these women that do these particular things seriously. And we may have to deal with them on a more of a short-term basis, because these 4 things that I listed can be very detrimental to your growth as a man, and these women just can't be taken serious. We can't make them the main chick. Don't ignore red flags. Thanks for watching. Hit me up in the comment section. Tell me what you think.